The three largest aircraft in the world in history. The most gigantic planes in the history of aircraft construction are in our selection, and two of them were built in the USSR, and since then their record has not been broken. And 225, the largest in the world. And 225 Mriya aka Cossack is a Soviet transport aircraft, released in 1988. The plane was literally pursuing space goals. It was created to transport parts for the construction of the Buran spacecraft. That is, we can say that the Cossack is an airplane for airplanes. It was created on the basis of the famous Ruslan transport truck, only surpasses it in carrying capacity. Ruslan, who was considered a giant of his time, weighed 178 tons himself. The maximum weight together with the cargo is 392 tons. That is, the ceiling of the cargo is 214 kilograms. But in 225 is even better. This is the heaviest aircraft in the world that has ever been lifted into the air. He broke 250 world records in many characteristics, but the most important thing is that he was able to lift a load weighing 253.8 tons. After the collapse of the USSR, the plane remained in Ukraine. It is operated by Antonov Airlines. The pride of the Soviet aircraft industry still successfully transports huge loads, for example, generators for power plants or dump trucks. The longest passenger aircraft, Boeing 7478. If the previous copy is the most among transporters and airplanes in principle, then this Boeing is the longest passenger plane in the world. Its length is 76.4 meters. The plane of the American president is a modified version of the Boeing 7478. 467 passengers of three classes fit into it, and as much as possible the plane can take them 15,000 kilometers. Although the Boeing is the longest, it is not the most spacious. In terms of the number of passengers, it is overtaken by the French Airbus A380, which accommodates 525 passengers. The heaviest combat aircraft in the history of the Tu-160. The Tu-160 is the largest and most powerful military aircraft in the world. The Tu-160 is a bomber that was built in the Tupolev Design Bureau. Despite the fact that he is the largest, he is also the fastest bomber. This is a record-breaking aircraft. The Tu-160 holds 46 world records. The Tu-160 is an aircraft that was very important to the USSR. By the early 80s, we had a lot of nuclear missiles and bombs, but there was no effective way to overcome the protection of the US air defense. Our bombers were obsolete, and the Tu-160 became such an aircraft. He himself weighs 110 tons, can carry a maximum cargo of 165 tons on board. This is more than enough to bombard with modern missiles and bombs. Currently, the Russian Air Force has 16 Tu-160 in service. The combat radius of the Tu-160 is 7,300 Kelvin-m, and the cruising speed is 850 Kelvin-m/h, which is quite enough for Russia's combat needs. Please note that of the three very best aircraft in the world, two belong to the Soviet traditions of aircraft construction. Thank you for watching the video. Like, subscribe to the channel, and write a comment. See you in the next story.